But that's okay. At least someone's got it together. But we might see it in November. It's probably unlikely that's going to be the case. So for now, all we get to see really is how well this learner does in this Honda Civic, going the other way, the reverse track layout, which is often a favourite of mine in F1 2020. When I'm not winning, I'll just stop, turn around and do a reverse track, which is fantastic. G'day, my name's James and welcome to the Oz F1 show, third season here in 2021, and I'm joined by my friends and yours, Campy, Tommy T. Lads, it's
Season 3.
Great to see your faces, and we're in a studio. Campy, can you believe it?
I know, I can't, no. I've built a table and I said, it's looking all right. How are you boys?
It's
Look,
all right.
we're enjoying being on your set. Thank you for that. Well, look, we're going to go through our 2021 season predictions for this episode, our first of the year. And what I thought we would do is talk about our top 5 drivers in reverse finishing order. Now, we will be doing another episode a little bit later on in the month as we talk about the entire season as a whole, including all of the drivers. So make sure you check out that one. But first, what we're going to do is go for our 5th placed driver in the 2021 season so that we can come back at the end of the year and give each other crap when we figure out that we really suck at this. So, Campy, let's start with yours.
Can I just clarify? Are we going top 5 favourite drivers or
where you think they're going to finish?
Driver standing.
Where you think they're going to finish in the standings. So, in fact, on that, because you don't know what we're doing,
Oh, jeez.
it's starting very well.
The real reason we're doing this podcast is because Campy claims he gets it right every single time.
He does.
So we wanted some proof to go back and definitively say where everyone finished because of what you said.
F1 profit, mate. Just read the comments.
One profit.
You get what you pay for this podcast.
Seriously.
Right, let's go with
I'm
your
kicking it
5th
off.
placed. Who's going to be your 5th place driver?
I reckon young Charlie Leclerc is going to come
Ooh.
5th.
You think Ferrari's actually going to get its life together for
Regardless
this
of how Ferrari does, he drives really well. He gets results that car probably doesn't have any place getting. So he'll be opportunistic. He'll sneak in. He'll get a couple of podiums maybe here and there. Consistently get points, I think
Yep.
is what we can expect from him this year. So I don't know. He's a very consistent driver. He qualifies very well.
He does do that.
considering. So he's going to be in the right spot on the grid. So Sundays.
Sundays.
See how we go.
Mr. Sunday.
Mr. Sunday.
Let's not start that. It was terrible for George Russell, Mr. Saturday. Campy,
Young Charlie.
your 5th place driver at the end of the year.
I'll be tight, but Lando.
Lando?
Yep.
You
I'm
didn't like
surprised.
You didn't like Lando a lot when he started out.
I
What's
reckon he'll be
happened?
5th. I actually think that Red Bull and Mercedes will not be as dominant this year, so I think it's going to be
Interesting.
very even across the 4 teams. So I think Lando 5th for me.
Okay. I'm going to go with Checo Perez because of the other drivers, which we'll talk about in a moment. But I think he has a lot of pressure, obviously, on him to perform this year. We've seen Albon and Gasly before in the Red Bull fold, but he has done amazing things in that Racing Point in the 2020 season. And I think with the Red Bull behind him, he's actually going to do some good stuff.
Right.
And if he doesn't, it's Helmut Marko's fault.
Don't talk him up that much. We're talking about 5th place here.
He's potentially in the
Checo
second
in a
best
Red Bull.
car though. So
Yeah.
really,
Checo in a Red Bull.
He should be 2nd or 3rd.
what do you think? Is he in your list or is he
Nah,
not?
no chance.
He's not in my list.
He's a
not.
dud.
He's not in my list.
All right,
he's
well,
not anymore.
let's go back to your list then. 4th, who do you
Interesting.
think is going to come in
In
4th?
fourth, and Campy's going to love this. I have Valtteri.
VB.
VB.
VB in 4th. I
What's a
don't
good
think
VB,
this is going to be
Campy?
the year of VB.
Well, this is it for him, I think. There has to be a contract coming up where he doesn't form part of the team strategy going forward.
Regulations are about to change. We've got a young driver on the way through. There's a lot of things lining up against VB if he doesn't perform this year.
Campy actually likes Lewis now because of the Valentino Rossi thing that they did last year.
Sir
Look at
Lewis.
his face. He loves it.
Like
Sir Lewis. Sorry,
Sir
Sir Lewis.
Lewis, yeah.
Yes. Your
Like-
4th place driver.
Like's a big word, but he's growing on me slowly.
Your
4th
4th.
place, Carlos Sainz is going to spank his teammate this year and Charles Leclerc look mediocre at
Wow.
best. And the Ferrari won't be as good as we thought they were, but back in 2019.
Yeah.
But their car will be better this year.
Well, it has to be. It can't be as bad as last year, sure. Or maybe I've jinxed them. Anyway, that has
They
to
could
happen.
cheat again, though. So
Yeah.
It's pretty
I
universally
think
accepted
fourth
these
is
days.
VB, honestly, and not because I don't want him to be successful and be the world champion. I just feel like he's collected all this bad luck in the previous seasons, and he just can't shake it off, the poor bloke. Even though he's an adopted Australian, we love him for that, and his social media content over the Christmas break has been top-notch as well. We're yet to see. But okay, all right, interesting then. So third for you, Tommy.
I have our boy, Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, okay. Do you have third as
Yeah,
well?
Danny
I also
Ricken's
have Danny
very
Ricken third.
Good boss. All right, why is he coming third, Tommy?
I think he's going to actually have a car that suits his style of driving. I think he was fighting an uphill battle in how that Renault was set up. He hated the brakes when he first got there. He slowly got them changed over. I think he's just going to like how that car is set up. Having said that, brand new power unit, a lot of tokens being used on that. So who knows if they can keep that car progressing throughout the year with him. But we know how good he is. Last year he was outstanding and nearly got third in the Constructors, to be honest. Like he was well on his way. A couple more results his way and he was there. So not inconceivable.
And Renault figured out the rear downforce issues that they had from 2019 in 2020. So that was where most of their gains came from.
Yes.
It will be interesting to see with the technical regulation changes how much that affects this car this year and whether Renault have to go back and do a lot of work. But Danny Ricken McLaren, he's going to be a superstar. He'll get the job done, I think, and he'll make Lando look second rate.
Well,
Lando's coming fifth, according to you.
well, that just
But we're talking about fifth place. We're not talking about who talks about fifth place ever.
we do on this podcast. Welcome, Moz. It's fun. Yeah, but it goes to show there are faith, I think, in McLaren. There seems to be a lot of hope. Now, as you said, it actually could be completely wrong, and we could be looking at McLaren falling far down the field because of the development that they thought they were getting with the new regulations, except they pushed it back. And the contract was signed. Mercedes power unit was always going on for 2021, which is a shame. But by all accounts and looking at all little videos, the unboxed videos that McLaren do, A, it sounds great, and B, everyone's smiling. And how can you not when Danny Rick's in the garage? Okay, second place. Now, this is going to be interesting. Tommy T, tell me, who do you think? Who's going to be your second?
Sir Lewis.
Sir Lewis
Sir
Hamilton.
Lewis, I like it.
All right.
Second.
Okay. Did you have Sir Lewis Hamilton?
No, Maximus
second?
Verstappen.
Maximus.
Will be
All right. Well,
number
let's
two
talk.
yet
Let's
again.
talk
I think we're
about
going to have those two, 1 and 2.
because I've also had Lewis second too, which means that of course first is going to be Antonio Giovinazzi. Yeah. Or not. Okay. Well, let's talk.
Great hair. He does have great hair.
Let's talk.
Good man bun. What a squid.
Elite man.
Sorry,
Elite man bun.
No, Campy's going to allude to this in other podcasts we do, but technical regulations aren't doing Mercedes any favours. To be honest, that car is not going to be as dominant potentially. So many other things that they've got to deal with. Is he really that interested anymore? All these kind of things. And Max is going to be on an absolute tear. He's going to have a teammate to actually rear gun for him. This is going to be the best Max Verstappen we've ever seen.
Yeah, interesting. I think I agree with you. I think Lewis is, there's a whole bunch of different focus now at Mercedes. They're probably looking more towards that 2022 car. Although in saying that, they could literally split their entire division in half and go, right, you guys continue looking at the 21 car, you guys look at the 22 car, and they've still got more people than teams like Haas and Williams on the floor. But I just think, as you say, because of the whole vibe with what Red Bull's doing, they've made a lot of progress. It's not that they have invested a lot in this car over the 2022 car. It's that Mercedes, I think, aren't really that interested in doing a lot of changes. And sure, they've had to get rid of Das and a few things. And James Allison has even come out to say, well, it's really anyone's game. And honestly, I hope it is.
Such a Mercedes thing
because
to say.
be able to get some new fans to the sport, we need Mercedes dominance to end this year.
Well,
and Max is the guy to
You've got
do
to
it.
remember that Mercedes gave up on all development of the car last year at round 12 and focused for this year, which they are 5 or 6 races ahead of everybody else once they'd locked up the constructors. So Mercedes is going to be as dominant as they have been for the last 7 years, unfortunately, and we've just got an extra season with the same car as last year, really, which is a shame, but they will dominate, and that's why Max will be number 2 again. Just it's going to be another frustrating year for him. I think he'll get more results than he did last year, and it'll be a more competitive car overall, but Mercedes are going to kill them. So
Well, let's hope you're wrong. I always think that, but specifically for this instance, I hope you're wrong. Okay, well, let's talk about our top 3 constructors then in reverse finishing order. We're just talking about Mercedes. Campy, start us off. Who do you think is going to be?
Constructors.
Yep. Who do you think
I'll
is going
be
to
a
come in
Merc,
third?
Red Bull, McLaren Constructors for me.
Okay.
Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren for me.
Yeah, I went Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull in first to third order. So
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of around. We are
top 3.
we are riding so hard on McLaren to be
Did
successful.
we miss our top driver on purpose or what?
Oh, well, you spoke
said
about
Lewis.
You spoke about Lewis. We spoke about Max.
I
and why
said Max was coming number 2. I left Lewis off my list.
Yeah.
Lewis isn't even on it. He hasn't even signed.
Okay, all right. So it is Antonio Giovinazzi for you.
No, it is Mr. VB. VB is going to get a win this year.
You reckon VB's going to take the
I
title?
talked about last year. He's saving up all his bad luck credits because he had the year from hell last year and qualified really well in races. A lot of unfortunate things happened for him. We saw punches. We saw him collecting debris which knocked off the side of his car where he lost downforce. I mean, this guy's had rotten luck. He's had rotten luck for 3 years against Lewis Hamilton, and I'm thinking he's going to turn around and he needs to get under Lewis's skin. Lewis, we don't know anything about him at the moment. He's refused to sign a contract. He put it off the negotiating period until post-season halfway through the year, which is interesting, which he shouldn't be doing it. Now he's whinging that the lawyers can't get together and, work out what both sides want. And look, I'm not sure we'll see him driving, so that's why I'm not picking him.
Interesting. Yeah, look, I think that's a whole interesting. It's potentially another podcast if he doesn't end up driving.
He'll be on the grid, but I just don't want him to win again.
Well,
That's
look, we
why
don't
I'm
want to
picking
talk about
VB.
Lewis Hamilton too much on this podcast. We know admittedly Campy likes talking about him now, as I said, because of the Valentino Rossi
mates.
thing. He's starting to like him. I think they've actually got it. They text each other, which is great.
Nostrils are flaring because I'm angry.
What I actually want to talk about is surprise podium. So the year of 2020 in terms of random podiums, and the youngest podiums, you think back to Monza, and we had the likes of Gasly and Carlos Sainz and Mr. Stroll, Leisurely Stroll, standing on the podium, which was bizarre. All a matter of circumstance, like Germany the year before. But do you think there's anyone likely? I'm kind of going down the Fernando Alonso path, and Alpine might pick up some wins, not wins, but some podiums.
If that car's as good as it was last year, it's not out of the realm. I think Fernando's very talented and will definitely be able to put that car there. So I think that one's the most logical. I think we're probably going to see maybe a Seb and a
Leisurely
young
Stroll.
Lance, maybe up on the podium.
Yep.
I think that's going to be pretty good. That Aston Martin's going to be a good car. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was this last year. Mm-hmm. Coming year's going to be pretty good, though.
Potentially, it's going to be even better than McLaren. And as I said, we're relying so heavily on hoping McLaren and Daniel Ricciardo have such a marriage made in heaven that we're missing the Aston Martin. But do you think anyone's going to be jumping on that?
Kvyat's going to come back and steal one off Max, I reckon.
Just to get his own back. If you didn't listen to our 2020 review, you'll know that Camp is now our editor-in-chief of the Oz F1 Gossip magazine. Loves talking about all of the off-track action with Max Verstappen, don't you?
Yeah, it just doesn't look good, mate. What are you doing?
Still doesn't look good.
What are you doing?
A couple of weeks on.
I can tell you I'm going to poke fun at that guy every podcast.
Excellent. I love that a lot.
No, surprise podium?
What about Yuki?
Nah.
Well,
Gasly won't get one. Alonso will. Seb will. Lance won't. It'll be interesting. Surprise podium.
I reckon Checo's not a surprise. I think he's probably due a podium in that car.
he should be coming third, fourth
Consistent podiums, I
consistently.
think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Checo's the driver we think he is after last year's performance.
Loves a backflip, this dude, doesn't he? Can't
He
help
had
himself.
he had a great year last year, but I'm just looking at his career.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
Well, he's going against the best on the grid, and it'll be interesting to see, number one, qualifying session, how far off he is. If he's within 2/10 on the first qualifying, good. But if he's 3 to 3.5 like everybody else, he's could be in the same category as the other 3 Red Bull drivers that have been.
Do we see a Hulk appearance this coming year?
Well, there's a surprise
COVID's not
podium.
over yet, guys. Like, there's every chance that there's some more
There
regulations
is some
coming.
chat about him signing as the Aston Martin permanent reserve driver for 2021. And you're absolutely right. If someone tests positive for COVID at wherever within the Formula One paddock, they then have to isolate for the mandated period of time. So yes, absolutely. I'd love for him to come back and be able to take a podium. I'll tell you who won't have a surprise podium is Stoffel Van Dorn, because he just won't ever get in the car again, the poor bloke. But he will crush it at Modern Warfare.
Yes.
That is the hot tip. All right, well, talk to me about your favourite driver outside of Danny Rick. Who is your favourite driver for the year? And if Danny Rick was to crash out, and that would be unfortunate, who are you supporting?
Kimi Räikkönen.
Yes, I'm not surprised.
Max.
You love a good Max, don't you?
Flipped.
Max is
I
good.
hated young Max when he was versing Danny.
Yeah.
And I have flipped hard.
This is like you and Bahrain 2 and George Russell, and you
Yes.
wanting him to win and then wanting him to get no points at all.
All or nothing.
All or nothing. That's the Tommy T way.
Yeah, Max is good. He's just,
Mate,
he's a driver's driver.
Max gives good banter too. Let's be honest.
Remember when he tried to fight, what's his name, in the pits in
Ocon.
Brazil? Oh, how good. That's the stuff we love to see as fans, because no one loves this polished media presenters. Everyone wants to see the raw individual coming out.
Max calling people
behind.
out, getting aggressive.
I love it.
On and
Yeah.
off track.
Yeah.
And
Love
he's got a good history of it. Although he has opened himself up to a bit of criticism because of his off-track performance, particularly this summer.
Criticism from our good friend, the editor-in-chief of the Oz F1 magazine, which doesn't exist, by the way. Please don't go looking for it, because otherwise we'll have to put it together. All right, boys. Well, look, that's our 2021 season predictions. I'm very excited to go for Kimi Räikkönen as well, by the way, to finish that off, because he's just a superstar. The guy will be around forever. He'll be racing in his 80s, handing it to
It'll be
everyone.
his last year. So
He
we
will
need to
be.
give
So we'll support him all the way through. And look, I think you'll probably tell even by our merch that we're very much McLaren focused. And if you like our merch, by the way,
Good plug, good plug.
you can buy it online. There'll be a link in the description below, or you can click up here if you're watching on YouTube, and you'll be able to buy that. But boys, thank you for your opinions as always. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you enjoy this. We're on all of the usual places. But for now, it's time to say goodbye, and we'll see you in the next episode.